I'm David Ainsworth, Head of Communications at the United Nations Secretariat of the Convention on Biological Diversity. In today's SBI4 Biodiversity Beat interview, we're talking with Jenny Hawley of Plantlife, and we're going to talk about the global strategy for plant conservation. Jenny, hi.
Hi.
So let's start with this here. So some of our audience members know about Plantlife, but not everyone does. So tell us a little bit about the organization and the interest of Plantlife in the global strategy for plant conservation.
Yes, of course. Thank you. So Plantlife is a global charity working to secure a world rich in plants and fungi. So that's our main focus. And for more than 20 years now, we've been working with partners around the world on the global strategy for plant conservation through the CBD. And that's built on 35 years of experience working in the UK, specifically on the ground with farmers and other landowners, with governments, to really advocate for wild plants and fungi, to bring them back from the brink of extinction, and to see the restoration particularly of wildflower meadows and species-rich grasslands and temperate rainforest, which is a very special habitat that we have in the UK and a few other countries.
Temperate rainforest, just a bit of an excursus, that would be in parts of Northern Ireland, for example, too, as well?
Yeah, so in the UK and Ireland, it's down the west coast of Britain, so it's influenced by the Atlantic weather system, and then there's a few other countries around the world which have it, but it's a very rare habitat, and but is incredibly rich in lichens and mosses and ferns, which are, you know, really very special species, very special communities of species.
The interrelationship of so many different species as well. Now, let's talk now about the global strategy for plant conservation. So, you know, that was agreed. It was an integral part, indeed, of the strategic plan for global biodiversity, 2011 to 2020. So how is the strategy now going to help us with the GBF, the Global Biodiversity Framework, the Biodiversity Plan? What's it going to do? Yes,
so we're on the third iteration now of the GSPC, the Global Strategy for Plant Conservation, and there's a new set of actions which are perfectly aligned with the GBF targets. So really everything that you do towards the global strategy for plant conservation will help you to achieve the GBF targets and MBSAPs. And that's been developed by the Global Partnership for Plant Conservation, which Plantlife and many others are part of. And it really sets out, so for example, Target 3 on 30 by 30 under the GBF is for plants, that's around important plant areas. And Plantlife has been leading a programme on important plant areas, or IPAs, for more than 20 years now, and we have a network now of about 70 countries who have IPAs identified and managed in their countries, and that will really help to contribute to the 30 by 30 Target 3. So it's that kind of equivalence really. We're seeing, you know, if you really have that focus on species and really take these actions for plant conservation, it's just a really good way of delivering the GBF, because really wild plants are, you know, they're the foundation of every ecosystem, and all the other biodiversity depends on them. So it's just a really nice way in for parties and other stakeholders to delivering the GBF. They are voluntary complementary actions, so it's not another thing for everyone to do on top of all the other, you know, requirements under the biodiversity plan. But we see it really as an opportunity, and, you know, to have tools for delivery and ideas for action which will really deliver for all species, starting with the plants.
So I'm going to ask another question that we haven't discussed before. Is so in getting this guidance or these ways forward for the strategy, how will you communicate it to the different stakeholders? What are some of the tools or ways that they can find out about this?
Absolutely. So we still need the actions to be formally signed off at COP16. So that will come up obviously in October. But Plantlife has been designing nice icons to go with each of the actions, and we're looking at developing a toolkit to really help parties and other stakeholders to know how to put these things into action. And we're really encouraging anyone who's interested in this to come and talk to us at Plantlife, talk through the issues, see how the plant actions can be integrated into MBSAPs. Before COP16, you know, the parties have to be updating those, and we really want to support everyone to look at these plant actions, to see what's happening in their country or in their network, and how that can be built into their plans.
Okay, great. So that's an invitation to everyone. This is why I will look at the camera. It's an invitation to everyone to get involved in this in advance of COP16 as these MBSAPs are being revised.
Absolutely,
and we're there.
Yes.
So then we're going to speak again at COP16, and maybe we can see some of these products and how they move forward.
Yes.
And get it set up.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Good.